Today I'm going to be highlighting the Midwest Midnight Eclipse 2.0. But before we do that, I think it's important to take a look at the Midwest Midnight Eclipse. Here's a look at what the Midwest Midnight Eclipse looks like. It's a pepper with very dark foliage, very dark peppers, and they ripen to red. The peppers are somewhat small on the Midwest Midnight Eclipse, and I wanted to increase the size of the peppers and the taste, so I crossed it with a sweet pepper. Before we get to the taste test, let's take a look at how it did outside beginning in June. I grew 3 plants in the same container, and 2 of them were a little bit darker than the third. What I plan to do this year is to plant a whole bunch of seeds and then select the seedlings that are the darkest. Since they got a big head start indoors, I actually had some peppers on them in June. And some of the peppers were a decent size, especially when compared to the Midwest Midnight Eclipse. By the end of June, some of the peppers were showing signs that they were beginning to ripen. As you can see, the Midwest Midnight Eclipse 2.0 is a pretty productive pepper. By the 8th of July, we had some that were getting ripe, and that's when I did my taste test. By the 3rd week in July, we had quite a few peppers on the plant that were ready to harvest. They were much slower to ripen than I thought they would be, and this is what they look like in mid-August. Here's a look at what the plants look like in late August. As you can see, they're not as dark as the Midwest Midnight Eclipse. Now that we've taken a look at how it did out in the garden, let's go ahead and do the taste test. Today I'm going to be taste testing the Midwest Midnight Eclipse 2.0. The reason I call it 2.0 is here's a Midwest Midnight Eclipse. And you can see there's a big difference in the peppers. This one will also turn kind of a ruby red when it's ripe. The Midwest Midnight Eclipse, I think I'm on the F7 generation if I remember right. And this, the Midwest Midnight Eclipse 2.0, is on the F3 generation. I have 2 ripe ones here. I'm going to cut into this one and take a taste of it. How I created, it's got a pretty thick wall, I like that. How I created the Midwest Midnight Eclipse 2.0 is I took the Midwest Midnight Eclipse and crossed it with a sweet pepper. It improved the size of the pepper, and I'm hoping the taste also. We'll take a taste of it right here and see what I think. It's kind of sweet, and it has a kind of a tangy flavor. It's hard to describe. Hopefully you can see the thickness. I'm going to take another little bite, see if I can figure out how to describe the taste. Just got a sweet pepper taste. Nothing outstanding. It's almost like a bell pepper with a little more sweetness. I think that's how I'd describe it, just a green bell pepper with a little more sweetness. I'm hoping to improve the foliage color on the 2.0 because it's not nearly as dark as the Midwest Midnight Eclipse itself. What I'll do is each generation I'll take the darkest plant and save seeds from that one, and hopefully I can get it somewhere near that dark. The peppers on this start out pretty dark, about as dark as the Midwest Midnight Eclipse, but they don't stay dark quite as long, but they do ripen to kind of a ruby red, much like the original does. If you've ever grown the Midwest Midnight Eclipse, let us know about it down in the comments. And if you're just now finding this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.